be with the world. From the inside, be with your God, Ishwar, Allah, Vaheguru, whatever you believe in. And no matter what happens, let your center remain always calm, always undisturbed. There are two beautiful Sanskrit words which I have written for your reference over here. Asato sadgame. If there is any prayer required, this be your prayer for a lifetime, saying, मुझे असत्य से सत्य की ओर ले जाओ. O God, take me from the untrue to the true. 2017 years ago, on this very day, 22nd of May, somewhere near Jerusalem, Jesus was out on his preachings, going from village to village. And just outside the village, he found a young man. And he told him, before I tell you about God, tell me, what is your name? And this young man, all of 23 years, said, Jesus, I have a million names. Which name should I tell you? I am just not me. I am many me's. And Jesus said, you are the first man I have come across in my entire life up till now who has spoken this truth. We are many me's. You are just not you. Which is why in your Hindu scriptures also they say every person is a Ardh Nareshwar. तुम नर का रूप भी हो, तुम नारी का रूप भी हो, और इस नारी और नर के रूप में भी तुम्हारी अलग अलग संभावनाएं हैं जो तुम हर पल हर समय अलग अलग तरीके से जीते हो. Hearing the parable of Jesus, 1860 years later, somewhere in England, there was a man called Robert Louis Stevenson. He said, if Jesus knows that we are many me's, I am sure every human being also has some good in him and some bad in him, although every time he tries to portray the good. So he wrote a novel. It's spelled as N-O-V-E-L-L-E, novel. That time it was Tathagat, imaginary tale. He created out of two characters, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. The person was only one, Jekyll, who wavered between his morality and immorality. He invented a potion, a drink, which he would consume in the dark of the night and go about looting, raping and killing people. And there comes a time in the life of Jekyll that suddenly he cannot come back to his original good self and remains a Mr. Hyde. Now this, if you think, is just a tale, a story imaginary? No. It is true today in each and every aspect of humanity. And therefore my struggle in life has always been just one: to free an enslaved society, to free you from these corrupt pundits, politicians and priests who say something, who mean something else, who do something else, whose motives are something else. My whole struggle is to take you from the law of this universe to the law of love, to the law of seva. My whole struggle has been that, to wake you up. Humanity has been asleep from thousands of years. You are still sleeping. Wake up. Over the last 1 week, I have newspaper cuttings which are so disturbing. The first one is about a Mira Road. Mira Road is in the outskirts of Bombay, about 30 kilometers from the central city where we are sitting now, who 3 years back was operated for a hip transplant. And the doctor who operated on her used an inferior artificial hip, charged her fully. Within 6 months, this lady developed pain in her hips and could not walk once again. She went back to her doctor who had operated her. And he said, nothing wrong, you just do physiotherapy and you will be all right. Sense prevailed upon this woman. 3 months ago, she came to another hospital where she was examined, an X-ray was done, and it was found that the low-grade hip which had been used had broken, which is why she was suffering. Do you call this medical ethics? A doctor who, when he gets his degree, takes an oath of office to serve humanity, to cure people with knowledge and not cheat, not take commission. In fact, if you study the history of the pharmaceutical industry, it's totally loaded by bribing doctors into prescribing medicines which you do not need. 80% of the medications that you are given are not required by you. You call this profession Nobel? These people who indulge in such activities are nothing else but thugs. I have another incident. A lady was telling me she went to a certain specialist, an ENT specialist, if I may name him. He's in Khar. She showed herself, said, this is what I'm suffering from. The doctor, an ENT specialist who is attached with 30 years of experience to a major 5-star corporate hospital in Bombay, says, Madam, I have never seen such a case before, such a disease before. I am afraid I do not know what you are suffering from. I can't even examine you, forget about treating you. Very fine, thank you. I love this doctor for his honesty. But what is the dishonest part? The moment he is finished, he writes a slip, pay 1500 rupees. For what? In 30 seconds he tell him, I've not seen such a case, I do not know what you are suffering from, I cannot treat you. Is this morality? I do not wish to name the doctor, but if he ever listens to this YouTube, he will know. Fortunately, this lady could afford this payment. How about the poor ones who cannot? Medical negligence is a major deficiency in our society. I was trying to do some research and find out how many people in India die every year because of medical negligence. Now, what is medical negligence? The first thing is diagnosing you wrongly. You may not be suffering from a thing, they label you that you are suffering from it. B, prescribing wrong medication. That's another thing of misdiagnosis. 3, not attending to cases with deliberation, with care, with concern, within 10 seconds passing off a patient. A patient has come to you for tender love and care, not only for being prescribed medicines. Do you know, in India, no figures are available for how many people die every year of this diagnosis. So I did some more backward research. I went to the United States of America and figures are available that every year 2,25,000 people, 225,000 people, 2,25,000 लोग हर साल अमेरिका में मरते हैं because of misdiagnosis. So I asked another knowledgeable person to work out the approximate figures of how many people die in India every year because of medical negligence. He computed it using 2 parameters. The first parameter was population. America is about 30 crores, you are 130 crores plus, 4 times, plus 4.5 times. Then he computed the health standards. The American health standard is 7 times better than India's. You are in the lowest 40 countries of the world as far as medical treatment is concerned. It's an eye-opener. In America, approximately 6 children die in what is called IM, infant mortality. In India, 42 point some children die every year per thousand, 7 times more. So he used these 2 parameters and calculated that in India, because of medical negligence, 70 lakh people die every year. 2.25 into 7 into 4.5, that's your population. 70 lakh people in your country are dying every year because of medical negligence. I'm not talking about the horrendousness of the medical profession where doctors refuse to serve in rural areas. You are an insane society. You have no fellow feelings. Add to that, what is society doing? It is intruding in your personal life. How to do, when to do, what to do. It has snatched every freedom from you. Here is a very interesting article. When is it okay to have sex?
When will freedoms? When the latest.
When is it okay to have sex? When you are willing, when your partner is willing. It's that simple as that. Here they have mentioned how many weeks, how many months you should take. So I met a young couple the other day. They wanted to have sex, but they told me they're not having because the article says you should not have it. How silly!
Stupid.
How stupid! This is your society and a full-page colorful article is available. You can take it from me, I'll load it up also on YouTube, free for you. Why is your society sick? This is another picture.
Sure. I can't see.
You can't see.
That's not it.
Here is an assembly, something like a parliament, a Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha, whatever you could, where you are elected representative, sit. And the head of the government, the president of League, the governor, has got up to give a talk. So all your elected respective citizens, the people whom you have voted for, तुम्हारे नेता जो हैं, what do? They make missiles out of paper and they start throwing it at the governor during their address. Now this is a very decent version of what they do in the assembly. There are other earlier pictures where they have taken out microphones, they have taken out chairs and thrown at each other and at him.
Yes. Including chappals.
They,
Much more worse.
so including so two things stand out. Why don't you wake up, gentlemen and ladies? Two beautiful things stand out. If your elected netas, leaders, whom you put garlands on, whom you say Jai Jai Jai, if they can behave like this, I ask you, what is wrong on the street side if a student or a person who feels aggrieved takes off stones and throws it at the policeman? They are doing the same thing. Are they doing anything different?
Yes.
You netas have set the example. They are following you. Those children who are protesting, throwing stones against anybody, right or wrong, we are not judging.
No.
If they are wrong, how can these people be right? They sit in air-conditioned offices, getting lakhs of rupees, getting a pension for the lifetime, whole family blooming, living out of your and my tax and money, and those chaps are rotting in jails. That's the first thing that stands out. And the second disturbing thing is, I carried out a study of admission in colleges. I carried out a survey of people who apply for jobs. One of the requirements of your application is you must attach a stupid certificate called the character certificate. And 80% of your character certificate are given by whom?
MLA.
These sorts of people who throw missiles at each other. They are worse than kindergarten children or juveniles. Incidentally, I have read somewhere what is the origin of this word politics. You know, ticks are what I find in your bed bugs. Ticks. And poly means many. So this is a collection of the many things who are sucking your blood. This is what politics is all about. Your sick society, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Some months ago, we had a very awful incident where a young girl was raped repeatedly on a winter's night. Objects, iron rods and other things were inserted in her private parts. Both boy and girl were thrown naked. The girl died. She was not given any name, but it was covered up by calling her Nirbhay, unafraid. Now, name giving does not change the
In
scene.
America, they don't have name in the documents.
Those people, one of them, I believe, the culprits committed suicide, the rest have got life sentence, whatever it is. And you think this serves as a lesson? No! Here is another similar case which happened in North India, Rohtak. A girl was dragged out, raped, objects thrust in her private parts and thrown out. What do you call this society? You are an evolved society, you are a regressed humanity. You may have made scientific progress, you may have been taught that you have evolved out of animals, only your outer shape has changed. Inside you are a rotten collection of humanity. Wake up, wake others up. We need to wake up. As if this was not enough, I have a great affinity and friendship with your sadhus, sannyasis and swamis. And whenever I see a sadhu, sannyasi, a swami in their colorful white, green, yellow, orange robes, I know they are hiding something. They are hiding a hide within. They are basically, I earlier thought, only businessmen in these colorful clothes, but no, they are a depraved lot. A majority, there are a few exceptions will always be there. But each one of your swamis, sadhus, sons, vairagis, pandits is a depraved one. You want me to prove it? Here it is. It happened in South India. I talked about North India, now I'm going back to South India, one of the most culturally advanced places, they say. People are educated. A certain Swami used to go to a house, regular preaching. The head of the house, the gentleman of the house was sick. And when medicines fail, doctors fail because they keep prescribing you creeping medicines which really don't work. They relied on this Pandit Swami who would come and do the puja. And in the garb of puja, he pounced on a young 23-year-old girl of the house. She tolerated it for a couple of months. But then they say, karma always comes back to you. 1 week ago, she cut off her penis, 95%. When she tried to force herself on you. And these sadhus and sannyasis are telling you that हमने तो संन्यास लिया हुआ, हम ब्रह्मचारी हैं. And you, ladies and gentlemen, go and touch their feet and go before them.
Asana, you don't break them.
Half of them are learning in jail. The other half who are not in jail are just waiting to get exposed someday. Mark my words.
Oops.
Each of these going by 1008 and God knows she, X, Y, Z and inner engineer, outer engineer, God knows what they are. They are planning their future in jails. It has to happen. They are folks. Nobody's telling you anything. You and tell me one stupid Swami public Guru whom you have called who has raised his voice against this. None. Tell me one Swami, Shri, X, Y, Z, whatever Mata, Pita, whatever you call them, who has marched, led the nation against this Nirbhaya case. There is a story of another tantric here who asked for the beheading of a young child. Where are your stupid Swamis at this point of time? Sleeping in their cozy rooms? Traveling here and there? How silly. Wake up, gentlemen. Wake up.
Papers reporting that.
And stupid beliefs of so-called educated person.
So-called educated people.
And it's reported as well.
Absolutely.
It will take another 10 years for the judiciary to act on it. By the time.
I think this lady, quick justice was one small start. Anyway, brings me to Kabir. There is no person who has better exposed these sadhus and sants than Kabir.
Yes.
If you read him, Man Mela, Tan Ujla. So whenever you see a Swami in white clothes or silk and colorful clothes, just remember these two words, Man Mela Tan Ujla, and have a laugh. And if that sant asks you, what are you laughing for? You say, you make me smile. let him understand what he is.
Self-accept.
मन मैला तन उजला बगुला कपुटी अंग. उसने बगुला का एग्जाम्पल दिया हुआ है. बगुला इज व्हाटएवर द व्हाइट कलर बर्ड, आई डोंट नो द अंग्रेजी वर्ड फॉर इट. दांतों से कावा भला, दांतों से कौवा भला, उससे तो अच्छा कौवा है. बाहर भीतर उसका सेम रंग है, काला ही काला है. Here he goes a step further and he says, मन ना रंगाए, रंगाए जोगी कपड़ा. Not only white, ये जो गेरुआ, green, blue, orange, whatever robes they wear. मन ना रंगाए, रंगाए जोड़ी कपड़ा. अपना कपड़े रंगाता रहता है to show purity. उसके मन में वही काला प्रेम नहीं है. प्रेम के शब्द सिर्फ उच्चारण करता है, बोलता है. प्रेम के लिए वो कुछ नहीं करता है. There's no difference. I had heard another joke. There are 3 types of people who scrounge, live out of you, oblique are parasites. अपना पैसा कभी नहीं खर्चते, दूसरों पे जीते हैं. Who are these 3 people? Parasites. One is a politician. हमेशा फ्री की खाते हैं. नेता. दूसरा पंडित. ना सिर्फ खाते हैं, झोला भी साथ में ले जाते हैं, भर के ले जाते हैं. नेता, अभिनेता, चोर और पंडित, चारों एक समान. Talking of parasites, I have another beautiful article about humanity. Wow, here it is. Can you read? Lata, please read it loud.
Son cheats. Son cheats 70-year-old mother leaving her homeless penniless.
Son, beta, cheats his 70-year-old mother, leaving her homeless and penniless. This is a story of the better part of Bombay near Bandra. What happened is, one lady had a huge flat, had rented out half, was staying in the other half herself. 2 sons staying in other parts of the town. One son went on Hajj. The second son found this an ideal opportunity. Went to the mother, told her this lease, the rental flat has to be renewed. So here are the papers for renewal. Please sign it. Mother signed the paper. And lo and behold, what actually had happened is he had transferred the property from the mother's name to his name.
And there is a declaration.
And the declaration was there and papers were transferred. The mother was left homeless. The home she was living in went away. The home she had rented, out of which she would get rent and survive because sons were not looking after her, that also went away. What do you call this son? Anything else but a parasite? The second son, when he came back from his Hajj, the mother told him, I'm not getting the rent now. She still didn't know it had been transferred. So the second son dug deep and found that such a thing had been committed. by the son. And now this son who had committed this chori, this hera pheri, still did not have that human feeling of giving it back. He said, go to court. And the court had to give back the flat to this woman. Can there be anything sadder than this? No. And this is not the only story. I know of another parasite from Juhu. There was a flat in the son's and the mother's name, joint. Mothers out of love do it. This man said, 40-year-old. I think he did it 3-4 years back. That time he must be 37. He said, Mom, let's sell off this flat. I'll put some more money. Or with the same money, we'll buy a flat in Bandra. Maybe it's smaller, but we'll buy it in Bandra, which is a better area than Juhu. Mom said, okay, let's do it, no problem. You are happy, everything is for you. This young boy falsely got the papers signed, took the entire money, invested this money in buying another 2-bedroom flat. He already was staying in a 3-bedroom flat in Juhu. Added 2 more bedrooms to his 3-bedroom, so it becomes a 5-bedroom flat. And the mother was thrown out. The mother is today living in a rented apartment. What do you call this son? A parasite or something else? Is society sick or is he only sick? It's rampant all over. It's rampant all over. Wake up. People who are hearing this talk, I fold my hands and tell you, be human. Be humane. Love your parents, love your near and dear ones. Don't cheat. Don't show that you are a hide. Be a jackal and remain a jackal. Don't convert yourself to hide. This is the story of the entire humanity. In the last 3,000 years, you have had 5,000 wars, killing each other. Not a single year, not a single day has gone without fighting. Why do you do it? Are you not worse than animals? You may not have been shaken up, but looking at your condition, God is shaken up. So one day what did God do? He said, the United Nations is serving no purpose. The Peace Corps is serving no purpose. Let me try and do my little bit, although I have not much power. It has been usurped by my children, by parasites who are my children. But still, let me make an effort. So he called the President of America, come. And he called Trump, come, or whatever. He called the President of Russia. And he called the head of the government of England. And he said, you 3 people are the most powerful. I do not know why there is no peace on earth. Why can't we live on love? I will grant you whatever you wish. But you promise that hereafter you will just work towards peace on earth. Done? America said done. Russia said done. England said thumb. Absolutely thumb. They said, American President, what do you want? He says, God, everything is all right. I have only one wish, which you have said you will grant only one wish. I have only one wish. And that wish is, from this naksha, from this map of the world, take away Russia. God looked a bit perplexed, but he said, let me see how it unfolds. So he called the Russian president and he said, Russian president, what do you want? He said, God, I have a very simple wish and it's very easy for you. From the map of the world, take away the boundaries of America. There should be nothing in America. Now God is totally confused, but he said, maybe the English are wise people. He will have something which will work out very good for this world. There will be peace. So he said, England, tell me, and I will grant you your wish. The head, the English Prime Minister or King, whoever was there, he said, God, I have no wish. I want you to fulfill the wish of both America and Russia.
Very smart.
This is humanity. This is humanity. This is the asli human being in you. You cannot see anybody else. I. तुम्हारा अहम, तुम्हारा अहंकार, तुम्हारा मैं, यही तुमको बर्बाद कर देता है और तुम इसी मैं के आगे पीछे जीते रहते हो। कितने गिर गए हो, भगवान तुम्हें हर चीज देने के लिए राजी है। एक गांव में ऐसी ही कहानी हुई। A man who had been praying all along, he said, प्रभु मैंने तुम्हारी इतनी सेवा की है, मैं तुम्हारी इतनी पूजा करता हूँ, पाठ करता हूँ, तुम मुझे वरदान दो। God says, I definitely give it to you, but whatever I give to you, to your other villagers, neighbors, I will give double. This man said, no problem. Give. मुझे तो मिल जाएगा जो मुझे चाहिए, मेरी खुशी तो उसी में है। The first thing this man asked is, मुझे बड़ा मकान दो। तत्क्षण next day he had a बड़ा मकान। He said, मुझे बड़ी गाड़ी दो। उसने बड़ी गाड़ी भी दी और उसने देखा उसके मकान से बड़ा मकान नेबर का और दूसरों का, उसकी गाड़ी से बड़ी गाड़ी दूसरों की। आदमी के दिल में जो जेलसी होती है, जो ईर्ष्या होती है, उस पे कोई काबू नहीं है। So he said, ये तो लेने के देने पड़ गए। My happiness lies in me being the best. How can anybody be better than me? उसने एक तरकीब सोची। He said, भगवान एक काम कर दे। भगवान ने पूछा, क्या तत्क्षण करूंगा, बोलो। He said, भगवान मेरी एक आंख अंधी कर दे। भगवान ने इसकी एक आंख ले ली, सारे विलेजर्स की दो आंखें ले ली। उसी दिन से ये कहावत चालू हुई है, अंधों में काना राजा है। So all your politicians, अंधों में काना राजा। वो कहते हैं देश की सेवा कर रहे हैं, भगवान देश को ये दे दो। There is a newspaper article also in this. Beautiful survey was carried out, and it's revealing. Yes, it says your happiness depends on the inferiority of your neighbors. The day your neighbor has something more than you, this is a newspaper article, you can never be happy. This is your dohri zindagi. This is the double life that you are leading. तुम्हें किस बात की जरूरत है? तुम सभी जो हिंदुस्तान में हो, इंडिया में हो, you quote your Vedas, your Granths, your Upanishads. Have you read the most important lesson of Drona and Yudhishthir? What does it say? In the ashram of Drona, all these students came to learn skills of life. There was Arjun, there was this, there was that, and there was Yudhishthira also. And Master Acharya Drona gave them a part, a lesson. He says, ये पाठ तुम लोग तैयार करके आना और कल मेरे से मिलना। कल सभी आए, अर्जुन ने, एक्स ने, वाई ने, सभी विद्यार्थियों ने कहा हम तो तैयार करके आ गए हैं। युधिष्ठिर तैयार नहीं था। Drona was surprised because Yudhishthira was one of the most competent students he had. So he said, आज नहीं कल कराएगा। कल बीत गया, नहीं तैयार था, परसों नहीं तैयार था, एक हफ्ते तक तैयार नहीं हुआ। The Guru got a bit worried. So he asked him, Yudhishthira, बताओ तुम ये लेसन क्यों नहीं तैयार करके लाए जो मैंने तुमको बताया था? युधिष्ठिर ने कहा था, आचार्य मेरे गुरु, अगर इनकी तरह तैयार करना था तो मैं तत्क्षण कर सकता था, लेकिन जो पहला लेसन आपने दिया है, अगर मैं इस सारे जीवन में भी तैयार कर लूं तो उसके बाद मुझे किसी लेसन की जरूरत नहीं होगी। एंड व्हाट वाज दैट लेसन? ही सेड, सत्य बोलो। एंड युधिष्ठिर सेड, ये सत्य बोलना सिर्फ शब्दों का उच्चारण करके अगर बोलूं तो ठीक है, लेकिन मन से जो सत्य बोलना है वो अभी तक मैं नहीं कर पाया। तो मैं आप सबसे यही बेनती करता हूं कि जब आप वापस जाएं, जिसके भी संपर्क में आप हैं, कहें एक ही वचन है तुम्हारे लिए, एक ही लेसन तुम्हारे लिए है, सत्य का लेसन। एक ही लेसन तुम्हारे लिए है, अहंकार मत करो, छोड़ो उसको। एक ही लेसन तुम्हारे लिए है, be the same inside, be the same outside, be true, be loving, be kind, be compassionate. Don't be jealous of others, whatever they have. Rejoice in their happiness. Only then can humanity survive. Otherwise, bilkul nahi. The most beautiful lesson, if you have to learn it from Lao Tzu. All other things I have written in blue. One thing I have written in red, so that you carry this home. Lao Tzu said, be ordinary. If you just be ordinary, you will be happy and this world will be a beautiful place. लेकिन मजे की बात क्या है, एक अरबी कहानी है। अरब में ये कहा जाता है, you belong to Dubai, do you? No, you have properties and houses there, okay? She has a couple of flats and other things there. Anyway, अरब में एक बहुत मशहूर कहानी है। वो कहते हैं, जब भी कोई इंसान पैदा होता है, अल्लाह मियाँ खुदा उसके कान में विस्पर कर देता है कि you are my best creation. There is nobody like you. You are incomparable. तुम सर्वश्रेष्ठ हो हर तरह से। और वो विस्पर करके उसको धरती पे भेज देता है। और जब तुम धरती पे आते हो उस मैसेज के साथ, तुम्हारा सारा जीवन इसी को प्रूव करने में कट जाता है कि तुम सर्वश्रेष्ठ हो। और इस सर्वश्रेष्ठ की दौड़ में you trample over others, you ride on the shoulders of others. तुम दूसरों का कत्ले आम करते हो, तुम अलेक्जेंडर की तरह निकल जाते हो, चेंगिस खान की तरह निकल जाते हो धरती पर कब्जा करने के लिए। और जब जाते हो, कैसे जाते हो? अलेक्जेंडर ने कहा था खाली हाथ कि जब मेरा ले जाओ जनाजा, खाली हाथ दिखने चाहिए मेरे कफन से बाहर, ताकि लोगों को पता लगे कि जिसे तुम महान अलेक्जेंडर कहते थे वो खाली हाथ जा रहा है, तुम्हारी ही तरह कुछ नहीं लेके जा रहा है। प्लीज रिमेंबर, ये तुम्हारा ईगो जो है, ये तुम्हारा रिलीजन जो है, ये जो तुम्हारा अहम है, मैं, ये सब तुम्हारे प्रिजन्स हैं। दिस वर्ल्ड इज फुल ऑफ टू टाइप्स ऑफ प्रिजन्स। One prison is the visible prison, the Tihar jail, the Arthur Road jail, the Bhaikula jail, and whatever district jail जिसके अंदर लोग रहते हैं। But if you think you are free, no. Each one of you is caged in an invisible prison. And what are these prisons? These prisons are of the religion.
The mind.
Of the mind, self-made prisons, morality, लोग क्या कहेंगे, दिखावा,
Your own negativity.
you are all negatives. Get free of it. Get free of it. Be yourself, be free. Just live like a nobody, like Lao Tzu said. And if you listen to the teachings of Buddha, whom I greatly admire, be thou your own light, work towards your own salvation, meditate. The only answer to anything is being meditated. और जब तुम meditate करते हो, तो होता क्या है? जो तुम्हारा क्रोध है, अहंकार है, वो करुणा में बदल जाता है। और रिमेंबर, जहाँ करुणा है वही प्रेम है। करुणा में हो, भी करुणा में, तुम्हारा करुणा प्रेम में बदलेगा। I urge you to spread love wherever you go. That is my message to you for today and for every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.